Hello there, I'm Gary Foster and welcome to episode 36 of What Price Victory. And thanks to the Wanderers prevailing in the Asian Champions League, we've now can focus on domestic issues. And today is a double header against the two Melbourne teams. So in the first game, Wanderers are away to Melbourne Victory. And a couple of days after that, we'll be entertaining Melbourne City back in Parramatta. So you join us where the Wanderers have actually started off pretty good. Our first game of the season was not all that convincing, as we were playing a heavily rotated squad due to Asian Champions League commitments. But following our Asian Cup win, we played a semi-rotated team, but we prevailed 4-2 against the Newcastle Jets, and Ryan Tulloch. It was a breakout performance from him because he scored his first hat-trick for the club. So it was also it's not his first goal, but his first goal in a competitive match. So Wanderers went behind early in the game thanks to a rather clumsy challenge, but then they fought back, and Tamaruskov nicked in at the edge of the goal area with a deft little header. And just before half time, Tulloch and I think it was Traore interacted quite well before Tulloch smacked the ball into the far post. Abini had come in field for the next goal, but then Miller overlapping, which to Abini, and then Tulloch on the far post came in with a pretty simple finish with a tap in from about 3 or 4 metres. Similar flavour to the second goal, where Abini was the instigator again. He did a long cross across to Tulloch, who was lurking on the far post, and this time he completed his hat-trick with a header. To be fair, Newcastle, they wouldn't go away. We certainly took our chances, and in the end they pulled back another goal. We had another couple of chances in the last few minutes, but it wasn't to be. So finally that was a 4-2 win to the Wanderers. In the next game, we're away to Perth Glory, and Perth Glory have had a very poor start to the season, and they've fallen from grace a little bit there after they were grand finalists in the previous season. But we went away with a certain amount of confidence, and Tamaruskov was on the ball quite early. Tulloch turning provider this time, and Abini was on the far post to nod at home. Aquilina, who's in for Traore, and Tedic sweeping ball into Tamaruskov, who onto Tulloch, who's also now starting to show a little bit of class from distance. So he added to his impressive goal tally. Aquilina again, and Tulloch was on hand to make it 5 goals in 2 games. So pretty good return. So long searching ball there. I thought he might have drifted offside, but it was a great finish. A lob from just outside the box. So that gave them a semblance of hope that it was going to be sniffed out. Ugla on the ball, and he had a great finish as well to put the game beyond doubt and snuff out any hopes that Perth may have had. We were the better team throughout the game, and the players that we've signed in the close season, they've acquitted themselves quite well. So all in all, it's a solid start for the Wanderers. And I'll just do a little bit of admin now, and we'll come back for the game against Melbourne Victory. Right, so here we are for the squad to take on Melbourne Victory. We've got Rory Bryan in goal. We've got Triatis Pakeko, Bagulio and Dugarkovic in defence. Now, Triatis has come in, as I've seen him, as a long-term replacement for Traore, who normally occupies that left-back position. Pakeko also can play there, but I see him more as a central defender. So that's our little bit of a reshuffled backline, and with Kankar out still for a couple of weeks, a couple of months rather, I need a little bit more cover in the defensive area. So Metcalf and Aziz, they're in familiar roles in midfield. Miller, who's an expat, we've got him back. We've pushed him further upfield to be an attacking right winger. We've got Orglar on the left, and we've got Pickering and Tamaruskov, who have got some goals between them. So we'll take that. We'll go to the briefing. Certainly a number of changes brought on by fitness from the previous game. We'll point the finger, we'll be assertive. We're favourites. I wouldn't say that. Victory are up there. Let's go for the revenge, even though it's been ages since they beat us. It was the end of last season. So we'll go to the kickoff. And we will see what we will see. So I said, a couple of good performances recently from Wanderers. So even with a reshuffled lineup, I'd like us to think we could do well with the gaps that we've been able to fill. So Miller with a shot over the bar, and we'll give them a little bit of encouragement to let them know I'm here. So fitness levels are down quite early in a couple of players. That's okay, but good header by Economides over the bar. So Triatis, who's looking to establish himself at the left back. Long searching ball to Miller, who hits the upright with his effort. So not a great deal happening on the leaderboard as such. 10 minutes to go before half time. The game seems to be rattling through at a great rate. We've got one last highlight. Looks like Garkovic had his cranky pants on. Jake Brimmer, and skims over the bar. Right, so I head to the dressing room. Victory have been the better team according to that. So we need to point the finger, and we say, I don't like what I saw. Ratings not too badly though. Have we been unlucky? Not proud of them. Just tell them to keep going. And see how we go. Miller, who I'll be substituting very shortly, like about now, and Orglar, who's having a pretty poor game. So I'll put Negerine there. What I might do, I will do that. The tactics and subs. I'll swap Negerine and Orglar around. Orglar has had better experience on the right. Just see how that goes in the short term. Looking at the defensive end now. Pacheco. Bailey Wright, he can come on. His fitness levels aren't great either, but I should be able to get 15-20 minutes out of him, and Orglar is not doing the right thing by me, so I may have to sub him off now. Well, I don't really have the options there for it, especially when Aziz is also bottoming out. Look, I'll let that run for another few minutes. Around about the 80th minute, we'll see what options we have. Pause that. Yeah, Orglar is bottoming out. So that little exercise didn't work. So I'll bring Coluccio on for Orglar, and I'll swap Nazarene and Orglar around. Confirm the changes and see if there's any last minute heroics. So Victory on the ball. And a rather innocuous shot across the bows. And Pickering, unmarked in the box, turns on a sixpence and snatches a winner. I think Victory would think they've been burgled there. Wow, I was not expecting that. Certainly not from that play. Triadis with the throw, Coluccio to Metcalf. He just found some space running backwards and he hooked it around. So Brimmer with a free kick and hits the post. Can they get the rebound? And pretty poor finish in the end there with Victory bearing down on goal. So Brian with the ball, he can wind it down. And Victory need to get the ball back upfield. Broxham passing back to the keeper. Time's up, sir. So Curta bearing down on goal and cleaned up by Brian. So going to wind time down, Your Honour. It'd be good if we did. Right, there we have it. A burgled win. Certainly I think Victory would have thought they deserved at least a point out of the game. But there we have it. So, yeah, XG would suggest that we may have been a little bit fortunate. But that's the way the mop flops. But points are in the bag, so that should keep Wanderers at the top of the tree. Wasn't terrible. A win's a win. I said no one played outstandingly well. So yeah, that just confirms that we're now on top of the tree. We buy ourselves 3 points. So 4 wins from 4 starts. Let's just have a look at the schedule. Yes, we were fortunate to beat Melbourne Victory. That press conference can be attended by the assistant. And I think from memory, our next game is on 4 days game time. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, okay, look, 3 lucky points. I would have been happy with 1, but I'm not going to knock the other points back. So, thanks to Michael Pickering's goal in time added on, that's a 1-0 win to the Wanderers. So, let me go and do a little bit of admin, and we'll come back for the Melbourne City game. Okay, so here we are for the game against Melbourne City. We've got a couple of changes, probably a little bit stronger than the team that took on victory. So we've got Brian in goal, Triatos, Wright, Bagulio and Miller in defence, Therese and Antonis in midfield. The ironic thing is there that both those players have been transfer listed and will probably be on their way out of the club in the not too distant future. Abini wide on the right, who I've tried to extend his contract or renew his contract, but he put his cranky pants on with me, so that was something I wasn't expecting. We've got Tulloch out on the left, and we've got Tamaruskov and Tedik up the pointy end. So we will submit that team. So yeah, we've got a little bit of an aging squad, but there's a couple of players that I would like to move on. So go out there and impress me. Right, we can skip that. So after the 3 points were burgled in the last game, I'm going into this with a little bit more confidence, but you never know. But Therese with the free kick, and it's plucked out of the air pretty easy by the Victory keeper, City keeper rather. Okay, so Bagulio caught in possession. Seems Jamie McLaren burning down on goal, and you do not give Jamie McLaren opportunities like that. Otherwise, you pick the ball out of the back of the net. So bad blue by Bagulio. So yeah, long ball up. The central defender there, Bailey Wright, he missed the ball, and Bagulio compounded the error. So not ideal. So we need a little bit of encouragement. We're not playing extraordinarily badly, but we're not setting the world on fire. So once again, I think we'll be looking at our wide attacking players in order to get us back into this game. So it'll be Tulloch and Obini to provide the magic, I think. And hopefully Tamaruskov and Tedik can capitalise on that. So Abini with a rather hopeful ball across there. He did a lot more with it than what I thought he would, but got Wright and Triatas with a bit of space, but that probably wasn't the best option out of all the time that he had available to him. Okay, so now City are on the move. Quite a number of shirts forward. There seems to be a few gaps there in the Wanderers' defence. So, left Lecky with a lot of space. Cross comes back, and there we go. Antonopoulos. Thought that maybe the keeper could have done something with that. But so 2-0 down. In the stroke of half time, giving Lecky all that time, and then the header, it wasn't the best, and Triados was out of position too. He must have been ball watching. So although we've been pretty accurate with our shooting, we certainly haven't put any damage on the board. So Wanderers, we just need to regroup. No need to panic just at the moment. But a screamer from 30 odd metres out, probably glad that it sailed over the top. Okay, so the dressing room and the cranky pants will be on. We won't thrash arms, but we'll be assertive. Show a bit of desire, or show me something. Okay, defenders. Don't usually do this, but I'm not happy with your defensive work. Midfielders point the finger, not happy with your playmaking, and attackers point the finger, not happy with your finishing. So got usually a positive reaction from all that. So let's just see how that gets reflected on the scoreboard. So we know that 2-0 down, we're not out of the game, but it is important that we get back into the game as soon as possible. And Tulloch with the cross to Abini. First time cross, and there we go. Tamaruskov picks up the crumbs from Sutton, who could only parry the ball. And Tamaruskov with a quite an easy finish for him. He's lurking in the penalty box. So Abini, yeah, keeper spilt the ball, and back to Tamaruskov. So early goal can only get us back into the game. Okay, so where there's one goal, hopefully there's two. So Tulloch not playing terribly well. But we'll leave him on a little bit longer because he has been in rare goal scoring form. So long, hopeful ball, but now we can build it up from the back. Triatos down to Tulloch, so can he beat his man? He's got a lot of pace. Gets a bit of room. Tedic in the box, square ball to Tamaruskov, block shot though. And Victory, or City even, can now bring the ball out of defence. So Miller, who's quite versatile, he can play anywhere on the right side of the field, but I'm tending to think he'll be my right back. Tedic on the ball. Can he cut inside? No, he goes for himself and he gets a great goal. Thought he was going to give Tulloch, I think it was, who came in on his hip. I thought he might have laid the ball off to him, but he pivoted and great goal. So Tedic on the ball. And then we have great goal. So 2 quick goals in this second half, and it's put everything back on equal terms. So now it'll be up to the fitness levels, just to see how these boys will be travelling. So I should give them a little bit of praise for all their efforts. Although McLaren on the ball, I'm loath to do that while they're skimmed past, but we'll give them a little bit of praise. He hurt with a little bit of stroking. So Bailey Wright still hasn't recovered from his poor performance in the second half. Pacheco will bring him on for half an hour. See if he can just improve our defences a little bit. But Triatos, was it Triatos or Terese with a dodgy pass? But Tamaruskov gets the ball high up the end. Abini crosses over to Tulloch, and Tulloch follows up, where his first effort was kept out, but he followed up, and that should improve his ratings quite well. But it won't improve his fitness levels, that's for sure. So yeah, Atkinson lost the ball. Abini, first time cross. Good save by Sutton, but once again Tulloch was Johnny on the spot. So do I want to stay with those changes? I might. No, let's just say no, because I might have to do a little bit of a plan B here. So with that, I'll just squeeze a little bit more time out of him to the 70th minute, and then I'll make that substitution. Keep going. Make that substitution in defence, as well as probably Tulloch or Abini. Tulloch and Abini, triple change far out, but Tulloch on the ball again, and combination, the crossbar there, saving City. So squeeze a little bit more time. Disappointed that Bailey Wright's numbers haven't improved, but Bagulio's fitness levels are way down. Tamaruskov burns down in front of goal, and he slips it under the keeper. So we've gone from 2-0 down to 4-0, 4-2 up. So that's been a great second half. So now I think we need to look at Bagulio instead of Wright. So Pacheco can come on, and Tulloch I think has done well. Yeah, Coluccio on the left and Najarine on the right. So a triple change. 20 minutes out. Could be fraught with danger. But quite an emphatic performance in the second half from Wanderers. But the game's not over yet. And what almost happened? I think Brian came out for the ball but didn't do anything with it, and then it bobbled around on our goal line, and it was cleared in desperation. So a little bit lucky. Hope these boys don't think the job's been done. Let's just give them a little bit of praise though, because they've had an emphatic performance in the second half, and they do like a little bit of stroking. So, Matty Gillett is the referee. He's back from refereeing in the EPL, in the English Championship. So, nice to have you back. So 4-2 to the good guys. So probably see there the XG would suggest that we were much more dominant in the second half. So we'll go to the dressing room. We'll give them all a cuddle for that. And we'll send the assistant. And we'll continue. So, okay, so Victory obviously have lost some ground. So now Wanderers have got a 4-point gap. So my thinking has been that I'd like to make this A-League an interesting save, and I don't want to turn this into a one-horse race. So I'll just be mindful of that. So we'll have a look at the schedule, and we come down. Probably Mariners, Phoenix, and Victory. I might play those offline. Although the match against Victory will be Tamaruskov's last game for us. So I might come back for that. But I'll just see how we go with these next two games that I'll definitely play offline. So, subject to change without notice, it could be either Melbourne Victory or Adelaide United. Adelaide just outside the top 6, but Victory again. So anyway, we'll figure that out on the fly. But a perfect start for the Wanderers. 5 wins from 5 games. So good news all around. But we'll leave it at that. I'm Gary Foster. Thank you very much for watching What Price Victory, and we'll catch up with you soon. All the best now. Bye-bye.